In the Advanced Features section, there are subsections for advanced configuration, such as, for example, here in Preferences, there are several panels, such as various settings. For instance, in general, you can configure the maximum duration for local calls, like the time limit. As you can see, we can specify the duration of each call. For local calls, we can set the maximum duration and control the duration for national calls, as well as at the international level, the maximum for redirections, which is important for better call control. We definitely have time configurations, so we can work on the configuration of the DTMF protocol to ensure and prevent loss. One can even enforce patterns to strictly follow the rules and regulations for calls or the numbers to dial in a manner that is in a very strict manner. We have DSP configurations. In the SIPI section, there are several advanced configurations. For example, in general, one can specify the IDP port, enable and disable the TCP protocol, and even configure its port. There are settings for RTP. There are also configurations for TLS for security and other related configurations and settings. You can easily enable and disable this, as well as configure various other settings. WebRTC can also be enabled and disabled, and it is effective for ensuring communication between the browser and applications. We have configurations for NAT and codec. We can enforce rules on sessions, whether they are expired, etc. The jitter and quality of service can be improved. There are also advanced configurations here. In the feature codes section, it allows you to add or program prefix codes to perform specific actions, such as, for example, one can easily transfer a call to an extension, such as, or even, with a code, one can activate or deactivate the call routine. Voice prompts. Here, we can specify the system language, and in case of an invalid phone number, for example, we can hear a pre-recorded audio that we can upload or import from here. We can add the audio files that we will use. You can also configure the hold music in the CDR and recording section. You can enable recording and specify its location. You can also easily choose or specify the specific tracks and extensions to enable recording for them. In the CDR section, we can access filtering by various parameters, such as different criteria, which allows us to gain insights into the various different recordings we have. We can also manage the storage aspect in the storage section and handle various aspects of the recordings we have. So, as you can see here, we can even add or configure a drive. We can also schedule auto cleanups for better storage management. In the voicemail section, several configurations can be made, such as setting the maximum number of messages per folder, maximum message time, minimum storage space, subject, etc. You can also configure an SMTP server to have the ability to receive voicemails by email. So, in this section, it can also be activated to ensure that users of the systems are authenticated. One can even gain access to the report or track calls in the API section, which is incredibly and extremely useful and very revolutionary for control and to make the phone system extensible for developers, so they can integrate the system with third-party applications and be able to do various things like automations, etc. In the troubleshooting section, one can perform actions such as using the Ethernet capture tool, where interfaces to monitor can be specified, along with the duration and the filter to apply, and this can be monitored. One can also monitor the ports using various tools such as ping, traceroute, and local NSA. It is even possible to export the logs. The largest stock of VoIP with dozens of brands. With us, you will find what fits your budget and needs. And most importantly, everything comes with a warranty on the equipment and installation.